Welcome back to What the FFF. I'm Angela, and we are so lucky we have another Angela here with us today, the founder of Cleobella. Let's dive in. Well, welcome back, everyone. We're so excited to have another Angela with us from Cleobella. We also have Steb and Elizabeth with us, the Peanut Gallery. We're really excited.
I feel like Elizabeth needs to talk a little bit more because she never.
I know.
We want you to chime in.
I'll speak up.
Well, we're so excited to talk to you and to highlight your brand, the amazing product that we have in our winter box. But I'm excited to dive in and get to know more about you and the brand. So for our members and viewers who may not be a follower yet, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm so honored to be here and to be a part of FabFitFun's community.
Thank you.
So I've been a member and a supporter for years. So thank you so much.
Member to member.
Yes.
Like, member, she's just like us.
Wow.
And, Cleobella was born on open roads. My husband and I started this company more than 15 years ago.
Wow.
And we were newly married, and we left our jobs, and we traveled for a year, and we backpacked through Europe. We went to South Africa, Indonesia, India, Australia, so many places. And my husband's a big surfer, so that was the driver, and me being a creative and just really curious. And that's what traveling brings, so much of experiences. And that's how Cleobella was born. So I designed a few leather handbags in Bali, Indonesia, because we fell in love with Bali. And then I imported these wrap skirts from India that were made from recycled saris. And fast forward, we've spent the last maybe 16, 17 years living part of the year in Bali, Indonesia, and traveling through Southeast Asia.
That is, I am in awe. That is, so amazing. Even on so many levels. Just be able to have those, travel experiences and being inspired, but also, people say, oh, your first year of marriage can be, really tough, or just marriage in general is tough, and just to be able to launch pad, the relationship in your life in this next chapter. That's amazing.
It was so meaningful. My husband's always been my biggest supporter, and he was surf all day, and I was just exploring through the streets and meeting people, and that's what I love to do. I feel like it's why Cleobella has been so special, is because I've been able to connect with so many other entrepreneurs, whether they're home industry people in Indonesia or, all through Southeast Asia we're working with, or other female founders like even Katie, who created FabFitFun. It's that for me. I love the process of collaborating and making something together and then sharing it with the customers. It's the biggest reward. And I think we started Cleobella to really connect to a creative community. Yeah. And it's given us so much more than we ever would have imagined.
That's truly so awesome and inspiring and motivating. And for you, as an entrepreneur, did you always know that was something you wanted to do? Were you the kid that had a lemonade stand? Something like that? Or did it just
Girl
kind
Scout,
Oh, you hate everything. Lemonade stand, Girl Scouts. I would draw pictures and I would sell them to the neighbors for $5.
Wow.
A little overpriced for the time.
She knew her value.
I need to see an example. Yeah.
And no, I had this entrepreneurial spirit, and I think I dreamed of a bigger life than I had. I was always decorating my room or sewing my own clothes, or my cousin would say I would make my math project pretty and I would decorate it because, being in a creative environment just fed me in a way. I didn't realize I could make it as a business. And then I was 12 years old, and my mom's cousin's husband saw my Christmas card picture with me and my brothers. We were going down a slide, we had Christmas hats on, and he saw the Christmas card, and he was like, let's hire Angie to be a model for Yamaha Wave Runners. He was working for the company at the time.
Cool.
And it kind of catapulted my modeling career at 12 years old.
All from a holiday card. So if everyone watching, make sure the kids are front and center. You never know when they could get
Send
discovered.
it to everyone.
And I got to travel. We went to the Bahamas. I ended up getting an agency in LA and in Orange County, and I traveled to Japan for 6 months on a modeling contract. I spent time in New York. So it was, it kind of helped create a bigger world that I imagined and meet people. And I realized I was not a very good model. I was very shy, and I wanted to make the brand and not be the brand. And so when my husband and I were traveling and I was slowly moving out of modeling, I thought, how can I create a few things, sell them, and connect this global inspiration that I was so inspired by, and then bring back the designs and sell them. So I was selling my designs at farmers markets in the early days. They were leather handbags, they were canvas totes, they were recycled saris. And so I started the company with, very organic grassroots, and then slowly grew it to what it is today.
And you should be so proud. I love hearing stories like that, because a lot of times people just see the end product, and with anything, with anyone's journey, whether it's like personal, professional, but it really takes a lot of you're starting at the farmers markets. It's very organic and grassroots, and look where was there a certain part that you felt was harder, or that you even a turning point, you're okay, this could actually be even bigger than what?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, there's been so many moments where you feel defeated and you're like, how am I gonna, pay for anything? Because being self-funded too, you have to be profitable, and then you put your profits back into the growth. And so those have been the most stressful times, and how are we gonna make this happen? But I believe in just leaning into opportunity. So if I ever feel lost, and then sometimes there's just an opportunity that's presented, just even working with FabFitFun, it's wow, lean into this amazing opportunity to connect with a bigger customer base and just see where it goes. So there was all these little ping moments on this journey that I'm okay, let's try that. And then all of a sudden, 15 years later, you're in your 40s, and my 20-year-old self who dreamed of having a fashion brand.
Yeah.
And
you're living the dream.
I feel really grateful. I think it's turning 42. You do kind of reflect, because it has been.
As someone in my late 30s, that's very nice to hear, because it's scary getting older, or just kind of what happens next, or can you still take chances, evolve?
Oh, as you should. Make yourself uncomfortable. And this business has made me so uncomfortable so many times.
That's one of my favorite quotes, of be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's where a lot of growth comes from. And even one of my favorite books is actually Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, who created Nike.
Yeah,
and people think Nike, that's just a so global mega icon brand. And you're reading the book of how he started the brand, and you're I don't think he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
But he does, where he's just selling shoes from his trunk. And it's just we all have to start somewhere. You just have to believe and iterate and keep going and take something. It was a very, very similar story of wow, you just have to keep going.
You're constantly going to get rejections, but I think it was Diane von Furstenberg says that the most important relationship you have is with yourself, and I try to talk about that with my kids. And you have to believe in yourself even when no one does. And modeling at a young age, I learned rejection. And I was constantly told I wasn't enough of this, I wasn't enough of that. But for some reason, I kept moving forward, and there was enough hope that carried me through. And it's been the same for Cleobella. But the evolution of Cleobella is more than I could have ever dreamed of. The types of people that we get to work with, the trips we get to do with these amazing photo shoots, us learning about sustainability and what that means to be part of the whole process of people, planet, and purpose. And so it's been so rewarding. And so many of the companies or the factories that we work with in the very early days of Cleobella have grown with us, and they're family-owned businesses like ours. And so that's been, it's been rewarding, to say the least. And I just feel really lucky that Cleobella is still around, and it's my mom's name, so it's our family name.
Where did the name come from?
So my mom's name is Cleobella, and she was born in Northern Ireland. My grandfather was in the American Navy, and he was away at seas. And so my grandmother thought it'd be a nice surprise. My grandmother, Angela, who I'm named after, the Gigi, and she thought it'd be a nice surprise for my grandfather when he came back to Ireland that she was going to name his daughter Cleobella after his mother, who's from Nebraska. And she didn't realize Cleo and Belle were two words, but she put it together as one word, Cleobella.
I
We've
love
always
that.
called her Bella, and it's Cleobella is her full name, but Cleobella. So my mom came to meet me in Bali when my husband and I were traveling, and I was like, Mom, I'm going to start a business, and I'm going to name it after you, because my mom is an incredible woman, and I love this like feminine strength that Cleobella is. Is we can wear a beautiful dress, and you can do it in like a strong way, and femininity doesn't just have to be viewed as one way, and my mom represents that. That's what I hope the brand represents.
I love that because, our members, they're all different. And I think that's what really stands out for certain brands and products that can speak to so many of our like diverse members that,
Exactly.
discovery and fashion and being FabFitFun could look different in a lot of for different people in different ways.
Absolutely. Yeah. And with this product too, I mean, I'm just obsessed with the timeless design. And I feel like when you think of, sustainability, it's how many wears you can get from the product. This
Cost per wear is also
cost
very
per wear.
important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that was the intention when we designed it together. And I love how it's just so minimal and sleek and kind of understated in the branding as well.
Yeah. Okay. Let's dive into
Let's
more
do it.
of
Yeah. I
the
wanna hear more
product.
about the bag.
So this is the Canvas Tote that will be featured in the winter box that our members will be able to choose, and it's timeless. It is chic. It is gorgeous. Vegan leather, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And so one of the features that I love about it is that it does have a zipper through all, and I think I've talked about this in other videos as well, that I'm a mess. I'm a little chaotic running around, just like, a girl about town, that I love a zipper because otherwise my stuff is flying, whether it's just on the streets, in the car, you stop short, whoops, my lip glosses are everywhere.
Yeah.
So this, and we talked to before the podcast started of this is so universal, which I feel is important for sustainability, that with your gorgeous floral dress, that works with my leopard print and denim.
I was just gonna say that.
This also
We need a
works
fashion
with
show.
Stebb's outfit. This also works. It is gorgeous.
realistic.
Absolutely. And being, a busy mom, I brought my tote
Oh yeah,
here
show
with
us.
me.
So this is she's walking the walk, everyone.
So yeah, the tote is it's an easy carry-all, and especially being a busy mom and a working mom. And I feel with the winter box now, I think all the moms have their kids back in school in September, and we're getting into the flow of things. So to have a product like this, same as you, I throw everything in it, my water bottle, I have my toiletry bag, I have my...
So in terms of the size, it could fit there's a
It's a
laptop in
lot.
there.
My laptop.
And you still have room.
I even have a little mini bag
Wait,
in it because I'm going to be going out to dinner later, and
It's
I
like
wanted
Mary
a little mini
Poppins.
satchel.
Okay,
It's
What else
the
are you
Mary
pulling out of there?
Poppins
Yeah.
I'm
bag.
the side, this fits so much. And because when I saw it down there, I'm oh, it doesn't look like you have a lot of things in there.
Yeah.
You do. You have two bags and
Another
a laptop.
bag.
She's
Yeah.
pulling out a lamp.
But it's just
Wow.
so sleek and cool, and I love the way that the branding turned out. So
Yeah, very understated. Something that I like that you had said earlier. It kind of makes you curious because sometimes you just see labels and you're okay, but this is very what is she wearing?
yeah, and that's it. And it's all about the person who is carrying the product. It's that's the curiosity, right? It's just the way that you carry it. And I think it opens up a conversation is, where's that bag from? What's the story behind it? What we love for people to know about Cleobella is that, it's a family-run business. It's all about feminine strength and
Yes.
timeless design that you can wear seasonless. So I know I will be carrying this tote through winter and all the way through next year. It is going to be my go-to bag.
I am sold. And and I'm not just saying that, there's as a FabFitFun employee, we get a lot of products over the years, and, choosing it, you're do I need another bag? But I do. I do. And I do need this one because I love it. It could be, used for so many things of just day to day, but I'm starting to travel more, and I like to dress up a little bit, or really romanticize the whole travel experience. How chic would this look in an airport lounge? Of oh, who is she? Where is she
I
going?
can picture you. Yeah.
Exactly.
I can see it.
But I also love this for even if someone was a college student, or if someone is in high school going to a lot of different activities. So if any of our members choose this for someone in their life, this is something that'll stay with them for a long time. Actually, I did want to get back to the sustainability because that's like a huge part of the brand and newly certified B Corp,
B
correct?
Corp,
So like tell
exactly.
us, like for our members who don't know what that means, like what does that mean?
Well, yeah, there's so much involved with it. It was a 2-year
It's a big
journey
deal.
for us. It's a
What is
very
it called
big
again?
deal.
What is it?
B Corp, benefit
Corp.
Corp.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and we were, it's a multi-level step test where it's tracing all basically like authenticity of all the factories that you work with, all the compliancies.
So it's
you
like a
can
third-party company that goes
Exactly.
through and evaluates to make sure that everything's
So
up to their
many
standards.
third-party
It's like a badge of honor.
It's everything
Ah.
from like the way you treat the people in your office, what the lighting is like, how
Wow.
you compost. It's all of that. As it also what kind of factory partners you work with. What's the traceability like? It's the third-party audits that are so important. So we've gone through
You
this.
saying audit room, I was like, this kind of feels like an IRS situation.
I mean, it's legit. It's legit. And I learned so much. I thought, gosh, when we're using sustainable fibers like the Canvas Tote, it's, sustainable fiber that will go back into the earth, which is so important. Just like, I think there's so much education on the food we buy, how we put it into our body, but also the fibers
Yeah.
that we wear and how it is on our skin, which is the biggest organ too. So all these are conversations we have, and 80% of sustainability starts at the design level on what fibers you use.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so we've been on this journey. I mean, you can create sustainable income for the partners you work with, which is important to us. That's why we continue to work with the same partners that we met so many years ago. There's so many ways to be sustainable, but B Lab really creates a system that verifies it. So we're very honored to be a part of it. And we also say we're not perfect. We're continuously learning. So every 3 years, which starts at every 2 years, you go through a new process of audits.
Because it takes a whole year to complete?
Yeah, it took us almost 2 years to
Whoa.
complete.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
I think that's so important of, not being perfect because I think a lot of people, when they think about being sustainable in any aspect of their life, it feels sometimes it has to be black or white or all or nothing, but it really isn't. It's like all of even like the little progress that you make could make a big difference
Yeah.
overall.
Absolutely. I think it's integrity at the end of
Yeah.
it. What are your values? And I always say, wear your values. When you're wearing a Cleobella product, you're connecting to a bigger community of people that care as well.
People think they're just choosing a cute tote bag. It is so much more. So much more.
It has to be cute, too.
It's like, yeah, and it has to be cute. And with fashion, specifically fast fashion, that is a big aspect of the environment and sustainability. And of course, like I understand where people have certain things that are more trend forward, but when you have something timeless like this, it really is sustainable. Because I go through my own things of like, oh yeah, that was cute last season, but I don't know how I'm gonna wear that
now, yeah.
again. And now I'm just stuck with all this stuff and I don't know what to do with it. But this is something that
You'll keep reaching for this. It's
Yeah.
going to be the bag, that you go to.
yeah, and in terms of like value in this economy, cost per wear
Yes.
is like very important.
What
Absolutely.
is
Girl
you say-
math.
That's the second time I've heard you say cost per wear. So,
It's girl math.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's girl math.
Yeah.
well, explain it to me.
It's
'cause-
practically free after
So
a
if
couple of
something
wears.
was like more expensive, we'll just put like a dollar amount of like $100. You're like, oh, I don't know if I have like $100 to spend on that pair of shoes or that bag. But if I wear that bag every day, the cost per wear of like the ROI of that, if you wear it every day, like, oh, that's like $1 a day. If you wear it for like 100 days versus like, oh, is this like I don't know, like a Chanel bag that you might never wear or you might only wear once a year, every other year, that cost per wear
Got it.
isn't there.
Or
things
such a
about
trend
shoes.
piece, because trends are always coming.
Got
and
it.
going,
Yeah.
right?
So Staples, I guess, would have a higher cost per wear.
Yeah, like your
Exactly.
capsule collection.
Yeah,
would-
and this
Your
is
essentials.
capsule. Like it's
Yes. I feel like capsule collection is a very like ongoing conversation. If someone was building a capsule collection, this would be the bag that they should have.
That's so,
Absolutely.
yeah. And what if those shoes or what if this bag got you a new job
There you go.
or a modeling
That's
contract?
a good way to
That's a pretty high cost per
cost per wear. exactly.
Exactly.
Or low.
It's just like using it for a lot of different things.
to your
So
interview.
I think that's important when people are having to make justifications, like in these difficult economic times,
Right.
of like if they have to choose between this or that, of like, okay, I want something that I know that I'm going to use and be proud of and wear, and it helps make those decisions.
Yeah, and to better your life, right? There's a certain energy that material things create in our life, and it can be good and bad. But I really believe that this carries something really special that you'll have for a very long time, and maybe pass it down to your daughter one day. Because I know my daughter, Indigo Sky, she wears all Cleobella hand-me-downs. She takes my blouses and she makes them into dresses.
Wow.
I love her. She's going far.
She's so cute.
How many kids do you have?
2. Yeah, our son is going to be 14 this weekend, and our daughter's 10. Yeah, it's so fun being a mom.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really great. I'm so lucky.
Yes. Oh my God. I was like, I feel like I could talk like all day.
I
Like
know,
you are
right?
such a light. And I
thank
think
you.
that our FabFitFun members are going to be obsessed with this conversation, with this bag. Also, like, I think that's something that our members are always curious about too, in terms of like giving back, how they can be more sustainable. That's something that's important to you, the brand. Do you have any advice on, in terms of whether it's like fashion or like things that you, teach your kids of like how you can make a difference without it making it feel overwhelming? Because I think sometimes people do get overwhelmed of like, I don't know how to do this or
There's
that.
so many things, right? And it's so important. I mean, just having this conversation too, it's awareness, and you can learn
100%.
so much from it. So we work with an organization, Beam, that 1% of every purchase on Cleobella.com can go to a charity of their choice.
I
and
love
so, it's whether it's celebrating women with Girls Inc. or, One Tree Planted, where there's a tree planted for
Yes.
every purchase. So we love to connect with organizations that have already built this. That's been really important. But I go back to wearing your values, and I think it's just getting clear with yourself. We've, as a family, been trying to spend more time at the farmers market on Sundays so that we're, supporting local businesses and,
It's really multifaceted because, again, it's not only like, I'm getting like maybe organic products or products that, are better for me, but you're also, again, supporting local business, which is very important.
And that's so important. That's what they say, too. What I've learned in, we've been spending so much time in Southeast Asia the last 15 years is, you can give someone fish, that's that saying. You can give someone fish, they'll eat for a day. You teach them how to fish, they'll eat for a lifetime. And I think it's so important. Creating jobs is very important, and we all know that. So, the products that you're investing in is who's making it. I always say, what are the hands and hearts that are behind this product that's making it show up into your home, and it's something that you fell in love with. It's you guys who are telling the story, who are packaging it beautiful and being so thoughtful in it, so that when the customer receives it, they're connected to it. It's a bigger, it's like a bigger connection. That's when I think about the energy part of it. It has to feel really good.
Yeah.
In my heart.
Well, we are so lucky and so proud to be able to share your story and Cleobella. So if our members, if they choose this and they're like, wow, and just even see this conversation, they want to support you more, what can they look forward to going to your site? And also, of course, we need to pimp out the socials and the site. How can we find more?
Oh, I love that. Well, I've been focusing on my own social media and GOB, which is so silly. I'm plugging myself because I've never
as you
done
should.
that. But I was always not. And just during COVID, I was like, I'm going to make myself more public, and I'm going to share this story. And I think that's part of becoming 40 too. You're like, okay, I need to, get out there. So, but Cleobella, we're located here in California. We work with so many amazing artists and partners globally. So Cleobella.com, Cleobella Instagram. We're building up our TikTok.
Hey, we love that, and we know that struggle. And
I'm sure your
tough.
son and daughter could probably help you out with that.
That's right. I know. It's my son. It's all into it, the YouTube and all that. So yeah, follow us. Give us the feedback. I would love to see how you're wearing it. I mean, I know I'm going to be tying a cute scarf on it for the season. I feel like there's so many ways.
That is so cute.
Even just as an oversized bag, if you fold it and you wear it almost as a clutch, I feel like there's so many ways.
You just gave us
to
so many
style it to
different
be fun.
things.
To
Have it
do
folded.
Right?
There we go.
Yeah. There you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
That is cool.
And that cool oversized clutch
It's in,
look.
yeah,
And I even
yeah.
like the strap hanging it. So I want to see how you style it, how you're going to wear it. That to me is just the best feeling when customers are happy. I know you're from New York. The first time I was in New York at Fashion Week and I saw someone wear a Cleobella bag, it was the best thing that ever happened. So please, I want to see how you're
that's
styling it. It inspires me.
I'm
keeps me going.
So I'm obsessed with like leopard and cheetah print, and I have this like beautiful leopard scarf that I'm gonna definitely tie
so
to this.
Good. So good.
So chic.
Yeah.
So fun. Like, I love this conversation so much. And lastly, what can we look forward to in 2025? Like anything exciting that you guys have for the brand coming up, or just to continue on with like all the products and designs?
Yeah, I feel like 2024, there's been so much personal growth and business growth, so much change happening and opportunities. I just want to get back to who we truly are and just remember that, because we've been in business for more than 15 years. We've started with handbags, clothing launched 10 years ago, and there's such an evolution and there's so many opportunities with different extension lines. We're really building our resort collection because we're a travel-inspired company, and so you can buy a Cleobella, bathing suit that matches back to one of our prints. That's an extension that we're really growing. And then we're focusing more on these essentials as, the classics, the core. And so you'll see a lot of that on Cleobella.com. And then seasonally, we do new prints. They always tell a story of a place that we've traveled to because we're globally inspired. So, and hopefully there'll be some unexpected things in 2025 that I would have never thought of, that just I'm leaning into, that are going to present itself.
And that's just the best way. And for our viewers and members as well, like, comment if you want to see more Cleobella products in FabFitFun in the box and the sales. Like, I know I do. I know I'm very inspired and just so proud that we can share your story and share the product. I know I will be choosing this myself, and I can't wait to wear it around LA, and I'll be tagging you guys 100%.
Thank you, Ange. I'm so honored to be here and so excited.
Thank you. Well, follow Angela, follow Cleobella, follow FabFitFun as well on socials, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow FabFitFun on all the socials. Leave some comments on what you would like us to talk about next, and we will see you next time.